so this is interesting because now we're talking about ascension, and if you're watching this, some of you may or may not know how the whole ascension thing, right? The whole split from new earth to old earth. But with all these guidance, I'm tuning in. It's like, and the messages from the Moldavite, this higher being, these higher energy versions of us, and also their collective. But I'm seeing two realities, and this is what's kind of like a duality. One reality I see like doomsday is coming, right? An apocalypse. Something's gonna happen. And the other reality is like, wow, I'm like gonna have a movie, like I'm gonna be famous, I'm like have this goddess sanctuary, like wow, this like my dreams coming true, and then apocalypse. So I got two duality, and it's like, hold on, what is happening? Like which one is it? So the message I've been getting, and just take it for what it is, right? This is just from my own guidance on what I'm like interpreting with my own experience. So if it resonates, great. If it doesn't, like just I don't know, it's just YouTube. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna share what I'm guided to share. But this has been my experience, so just what my interpretation of it. And if you feel like there's something else or I missed, then feel free to chime in, leave a comment. But I just remember, yeah, I see this too duality, and lately the message I've been reading a lot of Dolores Cannon's work, and she talks about energetically the split from new earth to old earth. I see that. The Schumann resonance, if you don't know what it is the vibration of the earth, right? Earth has her own frequency, and lately, this past year, it's rising pretty fast. So those who haven't done a lot of like, if you have a lot of stuck energy, because stuck energy actually forms diseases, right? Forms illnesses. They're stuck energy, and like if you don't know how to release, purge them, they're gonna form some kind of illness or cancer, right? Cancer. Like if you read Dolores Cannon's work, like she does hypnotherapy and like she cures people with cancer and all these illnesses, going through hypnotherapy and then calling on their higher self and telling like what's happening in their body, like why are they sick. And she records these sessions, right? Because the person who's asleep actually talks in their hypnosis. And so now you have a recording of you talking, your higher self talking, right? So it's like, you can't not believe it. It's you talking. But yeah, she talks about the split from the new earth and the old earth energetically. So half the old earth is the people who are low vibrational, they're going to get stuck in this 3D. The new earth, which is, right, rather than the whole earth being destroyed, right, because that would put a ripple throughout the whole galaxy, right, this is more in-depth stuff, then what the star beings is trying to do is just to split the earth, right, and just have this, the other planet do their own thing at this low vibrational, which is, greed. Well, like this part of the world is going to have to learn to live in that reality until their next lifetime or their next ascension, or however that may look like. I'm not sure, but either when the energy, like this year is when it's happening. I feel like the shift already happened, so now there's like different energy vortexes for us to come down, help the collective try to purge as much as they can, try to ascend with their body, because as this frequency rises, and if your body is like too dense, then you can't ascend with your body, right? You may think like, oh, coronavirus, like there's so many people dying just because the frequency of the earth is rising too fast and their body can't handle it, or they're just living in this fear, right, because of this whole coronavirus thing. And I'm not saying like, oh, this is like something to take lightly, but if you live in that fear is a vibration, it's dense, and that's how diseases, that's how illness starts. And the more you live in this fear, you get consumed in it. And also be conscious of your environment, right? Because if you live in an area where people live in that fear all the time, you get consumed by this fear dense energy. And I didn't realize that until I left Texas, when I started going to these different now that my body's more open, I start going to these different national forests and national parks, and I was like, it's like, whoop. It's like an energy field just hit me when I enter these vicinities of these parks. And I was like, that is so interesting. So Houston was so dense for me. It just never occurred to me like there was a different energy shift. So I know a lot of you don't have the flexibility or like the just to leave like that, right? So it's just being conscious of what is happening. If you have Moldavite is actually helping your body recalibrate to this new frequency. So it's helping your body adjust. And so I constantly have to bring back my conscious, right? My spirit, right? Because it's always up there with Moldavite's energy where I'm like disconnected from my body, right? I shared in my other videos where I'm like just like pulled to do certain things, or like some of the stuff I share on YouTube, I look back at it and I'm like, wow, did I just shared all that? That's some vulnerable stuff. But I do it because I know a lot of you out there are maybe experiencing the same, and you don't have an outlet, right? You don't have a way out, and you feel like there's no way out. So I share, not to share to make me look vulnerable and weak. I share because it's gonna allow those who are seeking to come hear this message, right? But yeah, that's what I feel is happening. And something interesting happened when I got into Denver this past 2 weeks. So yesterday, I just like ever since I got to Denver, I'm looking at these cloud formations. Like my body's open. I tune in. It's like those are spacecrafts. Like if you follow me, look at that. And so I did a little digging, and then I found this article about aliens flying over Denver. I can definitely see the Denver airport being a hub for conspiracy theories and aliens, because they do exist here. I feel them. You follow me on Instagram, like I post these stories, and I asked my followers, like, is this spacecraft? It totally looks like spacecraft. So it's like a cloak. So today was kind of like the last 2 days was weird. So yesterday I went to go grab food at night, right? I brought all these Moldavites to go get active at the Garden of Gods yesterday, earlier this week. And so now this energy down here is like intense. And so yesterday I just went to go grab food in the evening time, and I just got this intuitive hit to go for a drive, right? I kind of been like doing a lot of stuff in this basement. I felt like it was time for a drive. So I let spirit guide me to where I need to go. So not knowingly, I drove 50 minutes outside of the city into this big empty field area. And there was this one pinkish cloud formation. Tell me if this looks like a spacecraft. Okay, it's a spacecraft. Like when I tune in, it's like, I feel something, right? It's yeah. So that's my interpretation. Okay, so what's so interesting that happened, and this is kind of, I don't know if this is like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just scared. So really strong message is like the car is gonna get in an accident. I'm like, whoa, that's weird. That's scary, right? Did I pick up that signal from someone else on the road? And yeah, I was like, okay, so I did all this energy work. I called on the ascended masters, the angels, like put a shield around the car or clear whatever's in my field. Like I don't want that in my field, right? I don't want to attract that. And but yeah, I thought that was weird. Like, oh, I just got this Jeep. It's a red Jeep. I just got it. I love this car. But when I got the intuitive hit, it's like, that's weird. I cleared it. I don't know. I drove an hour out, and I drove back. It was getting dark, and I was 20 minutes away from the house. And all of a sudden, like my eyes start getting blurry. And like, this is weird. Maybe it's the elevation, right? Because Denver has a lot of high elevation places. And so maybe I'm not used to it. Like I haven't eaten yet there. And so I pulled over to like some small neighborhood, and I just like sat my phone to update or check my Instagram and all that. And then I guess 20 minutes later, I just like, all right, it's time to go home. So I went home. Didn't think too much about it. I went down to the basement, did some work, and then I checked YouTube. And on the feeds, it was like an audiobook called Tibetan, the Book of the Dead. And like, why is this showing up in my field? Yeah, and I just like, that's weird. So I kind of listened to the audiobook while I was doing some work. But I got to the point, it's like, did something happen? Right? I actually panicked for a little bit. I went outside to check to see if the car was there. But that was interesting. Why are these showing up in my field? So why I'm sharing this with you, because this is not the first time it happened. I think something did happen in a different reality. So the first time this happened was, if you see my video, it was a deer accident. The very first gem show I went to, I got my first inventory Moldavite, and then I drove back to Houston, and then like a deer jumped out, and it totaled the car. The whole entire front was collapsed. And all three of us walked away without a scratch. So I thought that was it. Well, a week or two later, I start getting these dreams and visions of, wow, all three of us didn't make it. Two of us were ejected and one got punctured. And like, did something happen, right? And I thought that was just me. But now this thing happened again. Now that I'm more open and more conscious, I'm more like aware of energy. I'm like, is this what they call a rebirth? Because when that accident happened in February, about two and a half years ago, yeah, I just felt like that was the moment I like left my career, and I got my first inventory Moldavite, and there was a lot of energy. It's like, boom, what no alarm lines left. So maybe in that reality, I didn't make it. I woke up in another reality. So here's the thing, guys. Every time you go to bed, you wake up, you may end up in a different channel or reality, just to kind of put it simply, right? Because we are tuning into the frequency. Our body actually vibrating. We're all vibrational beings. So our body's trying to adjust to the new frequency. So there are times when I go to sleep and I wake up the next day, I'm like, why does things seem different? It just didn't feel like how I left it the night before. And if you guys know like the Mandela effect or the Mandela effect, where you swear like you remember something a certain way, but then now everyone else is saying something else, like that never happened, right? Look it up, the Mandela effect. So that's what I've been kind of experiencing these past 2 days, right? Yeah, that happened, the Jeep accident. I mean, I guess, I don't know, maybe that other reality had happened. But that happened yesterday. And yeah, that happened the day after I got all these Moldavites charged at Garden of the Gods. And then yesterday I was just drawn to see Inception, which I haven't really seen in a while, but why is it showing up in my field? So yeah, I think I shifted reality. But there goes for aliens for you guys. They do exist. It's an energy. You'll feel it. The more you do purging, the more you open up your body, you feel them, right? They're here to help us with the ascension. Moldavite. If you have a Moldavite, you are connecting to some higher version self of you on this collective level of Moldavite. But yeah, I just want to share that. I hope that helps. If it's too way out there, just consider what's going on in 2020. I think alien is probably the least surprising thing right now. But they're here, and they're here to help. And if you have a Moldavite, they're probably trying to get a hold of you to like take the call to adventure, because we need a lot of you guys to step up right now. So that's all for this video. Stay tuned. I'm going to have a Moldavite Mastery course program up in the 16th of this month for the new moon. So stay tuned for the next video. But so this is just your shadow work. It's going to push stuff out. You need to cut the cord, right? Because you can't ascend if you have all these cords stuck everywhere. We're going up. We're not going sideways. We're ascending to these higher versions of ourselves, basically. Okay, I hope that helps. That's all for now. My next few videos, I'm just going to talk. I'm not going to worry about editing. There's so much that's trying to come through. So just stay tuned. More transmissions in the next few videos. That's all I have. I hope I answered some questions. If you're having dreams, it's normal. They're trying to get a hold of you. So you see me in a dream, it's probably a sign that Moldavite mastery may be in your future. Okay, but that's all I have. Timmy Doe, signing out.